My modern and unstoppable seniors. Today, we're talking about something that's tough, but so incredibly important. If your spouse were to pass away before you, would you know what to do next? I mean, truly, emotionally, financially, practically. Would you be ready? I know this isn't the easiest topic to bring up, but it's a necessary one, because whether we like it or not, life changes in an instant. And when you've shared decades with someone you love, losing them can feel like your entire world has crumbled. But here at Wellness for Modern Seniors, we believe in being prepared, not scared. We believe in building strength before the storm, because with the right knowledge and guidance, you can survive and even rebuild with resilience, purpose, and peace. Let's be real. After 60, preparing for life's changes isn't being pessimistic, it's being wise. It's a powerful act of love, not only for yourself, but also for your family. So today, we're going to walk through 6 of the most important things every senior must do to survive and eventually thrive, if their spouse passes away. In first, and don't worry, you're not doing this alone. I'll be with you every step of the way. Let's start with something no amount of planning can take away: the emotional aftermath. When you lose a spouse, you're not just losing a person. You're losing part of your identity. You lose the shared routines, the morning coffee chats, the small inside jokes no one else knew, and that silence, it's deafening. Grief doesn't follow a straight path. It's messy. It comes in waves. Some days you feel okay, others you might find yourself crying over the smell of their sweater or the way their toothbrush still sits in the holder. And guess what? That's okay. That's normal. One of the biggest mistakes people make is pretending they're fine. But healing doesn't come from pretending. It comes from facing grief head-on. That means allowing yourself to cry, letting others in when you need help, and most importantly, giving yourself permission to grieve in your own way, not the way others expect you to. Consider reaching out to grief counselors who specialize in senior loss. Many local senior centers and hospitals have free or low-cost support groups. Talking to others who've walked this path can make you feel less alone. There's also growing evidence, including findings from the National Institute on Aging, that suggests those who seek emotional support and stay socially connected after a spouse's death are less likely to suffer from long-term depression and cognitive decline. That's not just comforting, it's empowering. So please, my modern and unstoppable seniors, if you're walking through grief right now or preparing for the possibility, know this: you are not broken, you are not weak, you are human, and the fact that you're still standing is already proof of your strength. If you're finding this tip helpful, give it a thumbs up. It helps me know what content you love and ensures I keep bringing you more valuable insights. Don't forget to share this with someone who might benefit. Enjoying this moment? Hit the like button. It's like giving us a virtual hug. Now, let's talk about something that most people don't think about until it's too late: your immediate access to money. When a spouse passes away, one of the biggest shockers, aside from the emotional weight, is financial confusion, especially if your spouse was the one handling the bills, bank accounts, or retirement plans. Suddenly, things you never worried about become emergencies. Imagine needing to pay for funeral expenses, cover your mortgage, or even just buy groceries. And realizing you don't have access to the joint account. It happens more often than you'd think. One widow recently told me she was locked out of their main checking account for weeks after her husband died, because his name was listed as the primary and she wasn't authorized. Can you imagine trying to grieve and fight with the bank at the same time? That's why it's so important to take steps now while both of you are still alive. Review your bank accounts. Make sure both names are listed, or at least that you have a payable on death designation in place. Know the passwords. Write them down and store them securely somewhere you can access them without needing permission. If you don't already have your own credit card or bank account in your name, consider setting that up too. It gives you a layer of independence that could become critical down the road. Don't stop at the bank. Look into Social Security benefits, because if your spouse passes first, you may be eligible for survivor benefits. But the process isn't always straightforward. You'll need their death certificate, marriage documentation, and a bit of patience. Knowing ahead of time what documents you'll need and where they are can save you from a lot of stress during an already heartbreaking time. This might also be a good moment to talk to a trusted financial advisor or elder law attorney. Even a one-time session can give you clarity on what's in place and what gaps need to be filled. According to AARP, seniors who proactively manage these legal and financial documents are 70% more likely to avoid costly probate delays and errors later on. That's huge. I'd love to know, what challenges have you faced when trying to implement healthier habits? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's support each other in this journey. If you're enjoying these tips, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's keep this wellness conversation going. Leave a comment with your favorite tip so far. My modern and unstoppable seniors. In part 1, we talked about the emotional and financial realities of losing a spouse and how to prepare so you're not left feeling helpless or overwhelmed. If you haven't seen that part yet, make sure you check it out first. It's full of heartfelt advice that could make all the difference during one of life's most difficult moments. Today, we continue with key tips 3 and 4. And believe me, these next steps are just as critical to your well-being and long-term survival. Let's start with a topic many people avoid until it's way too late: legal documents. When your spouse passes away, legal confusion can add layers of stress to an already emotional time. Wills, power of attorney, beneficiary designations. If these aren't up to date or properly prepared, you could face unnecessary delays, disputes, or even lose access to assets you thought were protected. Let me ask you something important. Do you know exactly where your will is? Is it updated? Does it reflect your current wishes? Because a will isn't something you create once and forget. Life changes. Marriages, deaths, births, properties, bank accounts, all of it needs to be reflected in that document. And what about your spouse's will? Was it reviewed in the last 5 years? Do you both have mutual wills that consider each other's passing and clearly state what happens to the estate? This is also where power of attorney comes in, and it's often misunderstood. Many people think power of attorney is only needed if someone becomes mentally incapacitated. But in reality, it gives someone you trust the legal ability to act on your behalf if you're suddenly not able to handle your finances or medical care. Without it, your adult children or loved ones may have to go through the court system just to make a simple decision for you. There are 2 types you need to consider: durable power of attorney for finances. Let someone manage your bills, bank accounts, and other financial matters. Healthcare power of attorney gives someone the right to make medical decisions if you're unable to speak for yourself. Make sure these are current, signed, and stored somewhere safe and accessible, not just buried in a drawer no one knows about. Tell your loved ones where they are. Write a simple note listing all important documents, passwords, and contact people, and make sure someone knows how to find it. Also, review the beneficiary designations on retirement accounts, life insurance policies, and pensions. These usually override what's in a will. So even if your will says your daughter inherits your IRA, if your beneficiary form still lists your deceased spouse, it could cause legal trouble. If this sounds overwhelming, you're not alone. Many seniors feel the same way. But I promise, spending just a few hours with a reputable estate planner or elder law attorney can save you months of stress down the road. AARP has a great resource directory to help you find qualified professionals in your area, and many offer low-cost consultations for seniors. If you've already handled your legal documents, give yourself a pat on the back and let us know in the comments how you did it. Your tip might help someone else, and if you're finding value in this video, go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe. It helps more seniors like you find us and helps our community grow stronger. Now, let's talk about something that's a bit more personal and deeply important to your health. Key tip 4. Strengthen your support system. Because loneliness isn't just emotional, it's medical. Here's a truth not many talk about. After a spouse passes, the quiet can be unbearable. You lose your partner, your best friend, your routine. You wake up to an empty side of the bed, and the silence at breakfast is a different kind of pain. It's not just missing someone, it's your entire rhythm being thrown off balance. But here's something even more serious. According to the CDC, loneliness and social isolation in seniors are associated with a 29% increased risk of heart disease, a 32% increased risk of stroke, and a 50% higher risk of dementia. That's not just sad, that's deadly. That's why building or rebuilding your support network is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. And before you say, "But I don't have anyone," please listen. Your support system doesn't have to be big, it just needs to be real. Here are a few simple but powerful ways to build that. Reach out to old friends, even if it's been years. You'd be surprised how many people feel exactly like you do and would love to reconnect. Join a local group, whether it's a walking group, book club, or senior yoga class. Shared interests are a great way to build community without pressure. Volunteer. Many widowed seniors say giving back gave them a new sense of purpose. Whether it's at a library, a local school, or a hospital, your time is valuable. Explore faith or community centers, not just for spiritual support, but for events, meals, and social opportunities tailored to seniors. Use technology to your advantage. Learn to video chat, join a Facebook group for seniors, or even attend virtual workshops or grief support groups. If you feel shy or unsure, start small. One message, one phone call, one outing. It's like planting seeds, and with time they grow into something beautiful. Also, don't forget to talk to your doctor about how you're feeling. Grief can mask symptoms of depression, and addressing mental health is just as important as taking your blood pressure medication. In fact, ignoring it can be just as dangerous. And if you're already feeling isolated or low, you're not alone. The National Institute on Aging has free hotlines and online resources. There are also services that match seniors with trained volunteers for weekly chats. Sometimes just hearing a friendly voice can make all the difference. Here's something I want you to remember, and maybe even write down. Connection is medicine. Purpose is power. Even if your spouse is no longer here, your life still matters. You still have stories to tell, lessons to share, smiles to give, and a future worth protecting. So, my modern and unstoppable seniors, take a moment to reflect. What's one small action you can take this week to strengthen your support circle? Call a friend? Say yes to an invitation? Leave it in the comments. Let's inspire each other. My modern and unstoppable seniors. If you've been following along, we've already covered how to handle the emotional aftermath, secure your finances, update your legal documents, and build a strong support system. If you missed the earlier parts, be sure to catch up. These tips are vital for navigating life after loss. Now, in this final section, we're diving into 2 essential steps that will not only help you survive, but thrive after your spouse's passing. Let's talk about Key Tip 5, create a sustainable daily routine. Key Tip 5, create a sustainable daily routine. Structure brings stability. If there's one thing that can ground you when everything feels chaotic, it's creating a routine. And I don't mean just any routine, I mean a sustainable one. When we lose someone, our whole world is turned upside down, and the grief doesn't have a clear timeline. Some days you'll feel fine, other days it may feel like you're walking through fog. But Having a daily structure can provide much-needed stability. It's like putting together the pieces of a puzzle when it feels like all the pieces are scattered. Even when life is unpredictable, a simple routine helps you regain a sense of control. You may not be able to change the world, but you can start with your day. Here are some ideas to make that routine work for you. Start small. If getting out of bed is difficult, aim to get up at the same time each day. This simple act alone can provide structure. Gradually build from there. Set morning rituals. Whether it's a warm cup of tea, stretching, or a few minutes of quiet reflection, set aside time for yourself before the world gets too busy. Incorporate movement. Exercise doesn't have to mean hitting the gym. A walk around your neighborhood, stretching, or light yoga can do wonders for your body and mind. Create mealtime routines. Sitting down for regular meals with a set plan can help maintain a sense of normalcy. If you're cooking for one, try prepping in bulk so you're not overwhelmed. Focus on self-care. Whether it's reading, gardening, or enjoying a hobby you've loved for years, make room for things that bring you joy. This isn't about creating a rigid, unbreakable schedule. It's about finding balance, a flexible structure that can be adapted day by day as you heal. One of the most helpful things to remember about routines is that they don't need to be complex or packed with things to do. A few simple actions each day can keep you grounded, even when the world around you feels unpredictable. Pro tip: keep a daily journal. Jotting down your thoughts can help you process your feelings and maintain a connection with your emotions. It's a small act of self-expression that can go a long way in helping you stay connected to your feelings as they evolve. Now, let's talk about key tip 6, rebuild your purpose. Key tip 6, rebuild your purpose, moving from surviving to living. Again, this is perhaps the most powerful and the hardest tip of all. After the loss of a spouse, it's natural to feel like your entire sense of purpose has been wiped away. Your partner was often the one who helped you define your days, your goals, your dreams. You did everything together, from the mundane to the extraordinary. And now that role is gone. But here's the thing, you still have purpose, you are still needed, you still have a future full of opportunities. It may take time to find this new purpose, but I promise you, it's there. Rebuilding your purpose is about creating new goals, new dreams, and a new identity that reflects who you are now, not just who you were. Here's how you can start. Reflect on what you love. What have you always enjoyed doing? What sparks joy in your heart? It might be something you haven't done in years. Whether it's a hobby, learning a new skill, or traveling, give yourself permission to dream again. Find new ways to contribute. You may feel like your life is quieter now, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable. Maybe you want to give back by mentoring others, helping out at a local shelter, or even volunteering in your community. Find ways to share your wisdom and experiences. Your life has so much to offer. Set new goals. Start small and build from there. Maybe it's taking a class or completing a project you've put off. The key is to keep moving forward, even if those steps feel small at first. Each one is a building block toward rediscovering purpose. Remember, purpose isn't always about big, monumental changes. Sometimes it's the little things, those quiet moments of joy and fulfillment that matter the most. Let me tell you a little story. A woman named Doris lost her husband. After 50 years of marriage, the house felt empty, the evenings too quiet. Doris was devastated. For weeks she stayed in bed, unable to summon the energy to even get dressed. She didn't know how to move forward, but Doris slowly began to rebuild. One morning, she forced herself to make a cup of tea. She went for a walk in the park, then joined a local gardening group. Over time, she found herself involved in a community project, helping with a local senior center. Doris learned to lean into her grief, but she also began to embrace life again. She learned that purpose wasn't lost. It was just waiting to be rediscovered, and while the grief would never fully go away, she learned to live alongside it, to live again. Doris's story isn't just about survival, it's about living, and you can do the same. So my modern and unstoppable seniors, I want you to leave today with a sense of hope. The loss of your spouse is life's most difficult challenge, but you have the strength to survive and the resilience to thrive again. You are not alone, and your journey to rediscover purpose and joy is possible. One step at a time. Take a moment today to consider one action you can take. Perhaps it's reaching out to a friend, scheduling that doctor's appointment, or just taking a walk in the park. Every little step counts. Thank you for joining me in this important conversation. If you found these tips helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and loved ones. Let's build a community where we support each other and keep each other strong. Your story matters. Your future matters. Until next time, stay strong and keep going. You're unstoppable.